Hello again, YouTubers! Ultimate SpongeBob 101 back here again on the SpongeBob channel. Today is December 31st, 2020, so I first want to wish all of you a very happy New Year for 2021. So as per our yearly tradition, we do have a overall review of SpongeBob for 2020. Of course, there was a lot to anticipate. Things didn't really go the way they were planned, I guess. But nonetheless, there was still a couple bright spots in this year for SpongeBob, so that's pretty nice. I'll be splitting this video into a couple segments. The first part, of course, will be the episodes or animation stuff, and then I'll be talking about some home media, other interesting merchandise, games, and, concluding the year for SpongeBob. So, SpongeBob episodes / animations. This segment is the most important, I guess, because it is where the franchise extends from. The elephant in the room was the third SpongeBob theatrical film, SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. I've covered this movie multiple times, and I had a full review video of it as well up on the channel. You guys can go check it out. So there's not much more I can say, I guess. It's kind of disappointing how the movie was released, but eventually it did get released, albeit not in the United States yet, as you can see here. Available February 2021. So that's going to be available on Paramount Plus. But, you don't really have to wait for that to watch it. If you get what I mean. Yep. Yeah, so that's the movie. Pretty big stuff. It was a pretty decent one. And again, if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, the review video is available on the channel now. So now on to traditional episodes. In 2020, there were a total of 14 traditional 11-minute segments, or approximately 11-minute segments. Some of them were longer and some were shorter. There was one special episode taking up two 11-minute segments, that being Escape from Beneath Glove World. I no longer do episode review videos on the channel, but I'll just give you guys a quick a look at all of these episodes. And out of all of this, as you can see all the title cards on the screen right now, my personal favorites are on the top left hand corner, Pineapple RV. I really like Roadshow episodes, so that was fun. As well as Krusty Concessionaires and Dream Hoppers. Those were technically the season finale in terms of production order for season 12. I thought those episodes were awesome, absolutely awesome. Brilliant, in fact. So that was really fun. And then, sometimes you often overlook it, but actually, SpongeBob's 13th season premiered this year. Yeah. On October 22nd, to be exact, we had A Place for Pets and Lockdown for Love, which you can see at the bottom right of my title screen collage. So yeah, those two episodes, decent, I guess, especially Lockdown for Love. I really like that one. But yeah, there are still quite a few outstanding premieres in terms of the premiering in the United States for season 12. There are 10 segments to be exact. 9 of which will have their pseudo premiere upon launch of the complete 12th season DVD box set, or not box set, but collection, on January 12th, 2021. So it's a pretty appropriate day to release the season 12 DVD, if you ask me. We have these episodes on screen right now. The only episode there is not going to be shown on, not going to be pseudo premiered on the DVD is 263B Quarantine Crab. I'm not sure. I guess you could make fashion a reason why you don't want to premiere on Nickelodeon, but it boggles my mind as to why they refuse to, or at least they had to extract this from the complete 12th season. So it's not really complete anymore. It's almost complete. Kind of disappointing, but oh well. How many new SpongeBob episodes can we expect to see in 2021, actually? Personally, I think it would be around 12 to 16 new 11-minute segments, with specials such as the new Christmas 2021 special, of course, taking up 2 segments. There's definitely been a production delay, and because of, the pandemic, right? So if we see less than that, I can totally understand. However, we do need to note on the animation front that we are expecting the premiere of Camp Coral. That controversial spinoff That ties in with the SpongeBob movie 3. That's 13 22-minute episodes of new content right there. I'm not sure if it's going to be premiering entirely in 2021 or is it going to drag out into 2022. We'll have to see. But overall, there should be a decent amount of new SpongeBob content to look forward to. So yeah, we'll be all good for 2021, I guess. All right, so that's animation-wise. Moving on to home media. This is one of my favorite types of SpongeBob merchandise. So it'll have its own segment. In 2020, we had the release of 3 new SpongeBob DVDs. The first of which, the complete 11th season, was released in March 31st. And then we had Bikini Bottom Bash releasing on April 28th. It took on the name of the VHS tape, which was released, 2003 or 2002. Not sure why they did that. I mean, they could have probably been more creative, but I guess they figured, nah, why bother, right? And then lastly, we have the SpongeBob Musical Live on Stage DVD. I just did a review and mail day of this last week on Christmas Eve. So yeah, those are 3 for 2020. And then the only upcoming one that we know of right now is, of course, the complete 12th season, which will be releasing just 13 days after this video goes up. It has the controversy of Quarantine Crab being excluded, but as you can see here, #1 new release in anime, so I think it's selling perfectly fine. Most people, I guess, don't really care about that one episode or one segment not being included, but it's still unfortunate, okay? Alright, so now let's talk about some other interesting merchandise. Here we are on the SpongeBob shop. There have been a lot of new designs, to say the least, but unfortunately they're really overpriced. I'm not sure if you guys have actually purchased anything from the SpongeBob shop before, but so far I haven't, and I'm not planning to. But yeah, plenty of new designs like this one. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Please wash your fins. Yeah. Another notable new type of merchandise comes in the form of the Bikini Bottom box, the first one of which has actually begun shipping this December. It's a mystery box of SpongeBob stuff that costs $39.99 per box. It includes all sorts of various SpongeBob collectibles, I guess. The first box contains, I'll give you guys a list. I don't have a photo, unfortunately, but it contains a Chum Bucket Safari hat, People Order Our Patties Krusty Krab shirt, pineapple pen holder with sharpener, SpongeBob travel figure, recipe for a Krabby Patty notebook, which sounds pretty cool, right? By the way, Krusty Krab enamel pin, and Mrs. Puff's boarding school mug. I was originally gonna have this first box shipped to me via a freight forwarder, as they do not ship beyond the US and Canada. But I changed my mind after seeing the contents, and also considering the fact that shipping was likely to cost as much as the box, if not even more. So imagine paying $80 for this. Probably not worthwhile. There was also plenty of general SpongeBob merchandise. I mean, Amazon.com is probably the best place that you can see a lot of these. It's not sponsored or anything, but it's just true, right? Amazon has this SpongeBob page. As you can see, we have some SpongeBob on the Run books, which we've reviewed before. Other stuff like the plushes, Imaginext play sets. Look at this Camcorder shirt. It looks pretty nice, actually. Welcome to Camcorder. I've never seen these before. But there are also other generic merchandise like Uno for SpongeBob, Rubik's Cube, right? Play-Doh. So fun stuff. Overall, pretty nice. I'll leave a link to this page in the description box below. I think this storefront is still much better than the SpongeBob store. At least the prices are more reasonable for what you get, at least. So there are also some brand partnerships, like things for jackets and makeup sponges, but I don't have much to say about those except that those are overpriced. So yeah, that's merchandise this year. Did you get any cool SpongeBob items this year? Comment in the box below. I'd love to hear it about those. Okay, so now you might have just seen this SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about now for games. So the SpongeBob franchise saw the release of its first new video game since the colossal failure of the SpongeBob license under Activision. Earlier this year, in June, THQ Nordic and Purple Lamp Studios released Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC, as well as Stadia just earlier this December. And, a lot of people were really excited for it, me included. I was super excited for it, and I've actually done a complete walkthrough of the game. I'll probably leave the playlist link to it in the description box below if y'all want to check it out. I never put out a review video of the game because by the time I completed the series of videos, I was really, really exhausted of it. Several things probably contributed to that feeling. I mean, you guys probably experienced the same thing, I guess. Numerous glitches, the incessant grind for shiny objects. By the way, I was using a Nintendo Switch version because that's the only console that I have that can run this game. Then we also had like the crazy difficulty curve, and then also lack of entertaining post-game content. The multiplayer mode was just mediocre at best, at least. But despite my opinions of the game, I actually picked up the fun edition of the game during the Black Friday sale on Amazon.com. It was discounted about like 70%, so the original $300 price tag obviously wasn't worthwhile, but it was $89.99 plus free international shipping, so it was a deal that I just couldn't pass up. It arrived right on time for my birthday, but I decided to keep it sealed because I already have the game. I do have a sealed copy of the game. The one that I actually used for the playthrough I sold away. Because that was a Europe version, so I kept the US version. But yeah, so that's Battle for Bikini Bottom. Pretty cool. It was fun, in the lead up to it, but then after that, hype really just died down. Staying on the topic of games, right? I do want to bring up this Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. It's also available for consoles, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because SpongeBob's kind of in it, but again, this is actually $10 more expensive than Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I think it's absolutely overpriced. It's just a kart game, come on. So yeah, I've never played this, probably not gonna play it. The videos I've watched of it was kind of boring. It's just, again, literally a kart game with Nickelodeon Plus all over it. So yeah, that is that. A brighter spot in SpongeBob gaming was with regards to apps. So Krusty Cook-Off was released worldwide in February by Tilting Point. A very successful app, actually. It's always consistently being promoted on the App Store as far as I've observed. And it's definitely bringing in a lot of cash for Tilting Point and Nickelodeon, of course. Something that is not as notable, but is still really great. SpongeBob Patty Pursuit is the other app that was released this year in May, and this is an Apple Arcade exclusive. I've done some videos on it. Of course, unfortunately, it's only available on Apple devices, iOS devices, but if you have an Apple device, haven't tried this one out, you can go get a free trial. And it's a really fun game, developed by Old Skull Games. A really, really fun game, and I compare it to Krusty Cook-Off, I think this one would be my preferred one. So yeah, a really great game. And unfortunately, as much as there is good news for SpongeBob apps, there's also some bad news. I'm not sure if you guys actually remember this, Nickelodeon Pixel Town. So this has gone under the radar, but basically the developer Go Game, this game was developed by Go Game and Nickelodeon Asia back in 2019. It has been shuttered just over a year since its initial launch. That's actually the reason why I haven't made any new Nickelodeon Pixel Town videos, because it's no longer playable because everything is stored on online servers. It is disappointing, but I can also understand why it turned out the way it did. It's just a revenue question, but because they restricted it to initially 3 countries, right? Singapore, Malaysia, and Philippines, and then subsequently released throughout the rest of Southeast Asia. I'm not sure how much revenue you can get for a game like Nickelodeon Pixel Town, so I'm not able to crunch the numbers, but clearly the developers did crunch the numbers, and it was impractical to keep this game up and running, and that's why it was subsequently made defunct sometime between September and November. So yep, some ups and downs in 2020, but overall it's generally what it is, I guess. That's all I have to highlight regarding SpongeBob in 2020. I do want to mention once again that Ultimate SpongeBob 101 has turned 10 this year on YouTube this year, or at least last month, and I again want to thank you all for subscribing and watching these videos. 2020 has been somewhat of a slow and disappointing year for SpongeBob, especially with regards to the movie, but there were still a lot of bright spots. Some of the episodes, as I mentioned earlier, Krusty Concessionaires being the most notable one in my opinion, and of course the release of SpongeBob Rehydrated, something that lots of SpongeBob fans were super anticipated for. That was really nice, regardless of what we took out of the game eventually. So there's still plenty more to look forward to in 2021. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty more SpongeBob content coming to the channel next year. Like, favorite, comment, etc. Once again, wishing all of you a very spongy new year. Keep it right here on Ultimate SpongeBob 101, and I'll see y'all in the next one next year. Happy New Year. Bye.